Hello, third graders. Welcome to our math class. Today we're going to learn how to do multiplication using units of 4, and we're going to learn and explore more about tape diagram. So let's get started. I'm going to start by reviewing how to draw and how to use array. So let's say there is a question that's asking us to draw 3 rows of 2. Here, I want to just let you know or remind you that rows are the one that goes downward. That's in vertical line. And column is the one that goes sideways. So I always begin with my rows. And it says I have to draw 3 rows. So I'm going to draw 3 dots like this. And I'm going to add another dot next to each one to make 2. So let's do another example. So let's say there is a question that's asking us to draw 4 rows of 3. Once again, I begin with my rows. So I draw 1, 2, 3, 4 dots, and I draw 2 more dots next to it to make them 3. And that's how simple it is. And there might be some question that's asking us to draw a certain shape or item. If that's the case, you just need to replace the dot with that shape. So here's an example. 5, let me choose another color. This is not very visible. 5 rows of 2. And if the question is asking you to draw a heart, then you just need to draw a heart. Always, I begin with the rows. So I draw 5 rows downward and put another one next to it to make it 2. So that's it. So let's move on and talk about what tape diagram is. So here is one sample of a tape diagram, and it's pretty much the same as array, except that for a tape diagram we put boxes around it, and there are 2 parts that we need to label. Do you see these 2 boxes? So let's look at the first question here. We see inside this box there are 4 stars. That means I need to do the same for the rest of the boxes. So I'm going to draw 4 stars in each box. And I'm going to, after I drew all stars, I'm going to go on and label the diagram. So for this box on top, we're writing down the number of stars in one box. So in this one box, we know that there are 4 stars, right? And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 boxes. And the total is 28. So we use this number to fill out this box over here, this blank. So the blank right here underneath the box, this is where we put the total number, which is 28. Then let's move on and do the next question. So for this questions, we know that we have the same number of total. But when we look at the boxes, the number of boxes, we have 4 instead of 7. So that means we need to fill the box with 7 stars. So let's do them together. So I'm just going to draw the dots instead of stars. And when we're labeling it, we don't put 4 because in this box here there are 7 dots. And we have the same total, which is 28. So third graders, there are 2 things that I want you to remember when we are drawing a tape diagram. and that is 1. We need to put the box around it. Box around it like this, and we need to label 2 things. Okay, so those are the only differences that we have with array. So let's go ahead and do some sample questions. So Charles, he replaces each of the 4 wheels on 7 toy cars. How many wheels does he replace? Draw and label a tape diagram to solve. So I'm going to draw my tape diagram first. So I usually begin with a long rectangle and I think about how many boxes I need. So for this one, it says he has 7 toys. So I'm going to divide my boxes into 7 different parts. And in each box, I'm going to draw 4 wheels because that's the number of wheels on each toy car. So up to here, it is pretty similar to our array. But are we done? Nope, because we need to label the tape diagram. So we're going to start with the top blank. How many wheels are there in one toy car? There are 4 wheels. Then what about the total number of wheels? So there are 2 ways to find the number of the total number of wheels. 1, by manually counting the number of wheels on the diagram. 2, we can write down the multiplication sentence. So I got the number 4 from here, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars, so I'm going to put 7 here. And I got my total, which is 28. So I'm going to put my 28 here. So let's do one more question. Arthur has 4 boxes of chocolates. So that he has 4 boxes of chocolates, and in each box there are 6 chocolates, right? And it's telling us to draw and label a tape diagram. So once again, I'm going to begin with my long rectangle, and I need to figure out how many boxes I need. When I look at the question, it says I have 4 boxes, so I'm going to divide this into 4 different parts. And in each one, I'm going to draw 6 chocolates. Now I'm going to start labeling it. So how many chocolates are there in one box? There are 6 chocolates. And we need to label one more thing, which is the number of total. And I'm going to use my multiplication sentence to find the answer. There are 6 chocolates and there are 4 boxes. So there are 24 chocolates all together. So I'm going to put my total number here. Did I draw my box? Yes. Did I label my top blank? Yes. Did I label my bottom blank? Yes. So please make sure to have those 3 checkpoints when you're drawing your tape diagram. So let's move on and do this question together. Vivian, she makes 4 bracelets, and each one has 6 beads. And there are 4 of them. Draw and label a tape diagram to show the total number of beads Vivian uses. So once again, tape diagram. So I'm going to draw my big rectangle first. And how many boxes do I need? Let's look at the number of braces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to divide this box into 4. And I'm going to draw 4 bracelets here. And I'm going to draw 6 beads on each one. Now, so my box is ready. Let's label the part. First, I need to label the number of beads in one bracelet, which is 6. Then what about the total? So there are 2 ways to do it. First, just manually count the number of beads on the diagram, or we can come up with a multiplication sentence, which is 6 times, there are 6 beads, and there are 4 bracelets, right? So my total is 24 beads. So I'm going to put my 24 here. Did I label the top blank, bottom blank? Yes. Let's go ahead and do the next question together. So the question is asking us to find the total number of sides on 5 rectangles. In order to do these questions, we need to draw a rectangle. And we know that on each rectangle we have 4 sides, and there are 5 of them. They all have 4 rectangles. So what is the total number of sides? So there are 2 ways to do it. 1, just add all numbers. And 2, we can come up with a multiplication sentence, which is 4 times 5. And the answer is 20 sides. So now we're going to go on and do the last question. So James picks 4 flowers from her garden, from his garden. Each flower has 4 petals. Draw and label a tape diagram to show how many petals there are in total. So here's my tape diagram. How many boxes do I need? Let's look at the number of flowers. It says I need 4 flowers. So I'm going to draw 4 flowers. And I'm going to draw 8 petals. So I think I drew more than 8. Okay. Now my drawing is done. I'm going to go ahead and label my diagram. How many petals are there in one flower? We have 8. And how many petals are there altogether? So let's write down a multiplication sentence. 8 times 4, 32 petals. So I'm going to label my bottom blank, which is 32. So I hope you understand how to draw a tape diagram. So there are 2 things that you need to remember. First, make sure to draw a box and put the items inside. And 2, make sure to label both top blank and the bottom blank. So now I want you to go on to your seesaw. There is an activity. I want you to try drawing tape diagrams on your own, and also practice labeling them. And if you finish early, please go to IXL and do these questions on your own. Okay? So I hope you had fun exploring tape diagram, and I will see you later. Bye now.